Hi there, SMDBZX here, back at my third attempt recording this video. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, OBS decided that my default mic isn't my Blue Yeti anymore, so that's pretty poggers. Do kids still say that? I don't know. Anyway, on to the actual script. I'm so sad. I am not saying adult Gohan is stronger than Teen Gohan. I am not saying that Goku and Vegeta were wrong about Gohan's power, and I am not saying that adult Gohan would win in a fight against anyone. However, I am saying, what I am saying is that adult Gohan's power makes no sense whatsoever. And you'll see what I mean as we go through this video. Okay, so if I'm not saying Gohan is stronger than Teen Gohan, what the fuck am I talking about? And it's quite simple, really. Just because I'm not saying Gohan is stronger than his teen self, it doesn't mean his power makes any sense. I know this will be hard for you Dragon Ball fans to understand, but I promise you will see what I'm saying. Let's go on to point 1. So this section talks about the tournament. There isn't much here to talk about, really. However, this is kind of where I wanted to start it, because I didn't want to go through and reread the whole Buu saga. And the tournament's really when the arc kicks off. The thing we need to note here is that Gohan is able to turn into a Super Saiyan 2, and Vegeta remarks he's not even close to the level he was when he fought Cell. I quoted that, at least from the manga I was reading. Gohan also got sucked off, and potentially got a Zenkai boost depending on how close to death you think he got. So, keep that in mind. Okay, now we get to the Gohan versus Dabura section, where this is where kind of what inspired me to make this video. So, the group starts sneaking up on Bobby's henchmen, and this is where things kind of get whacked. Bobby tells Dabura to kill the Supreme Kai and the 3 strongest fighters. He then proceeds to go kill Piccolo. Now, first glance, this makes sense. Piccolo is probably weaker than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But that's not what they're referring to. In the fight against Yakon, Bobby reveals 2 things. The first thing is that he isn't aware of Super Saiyan. And the second is that he isn't aware of Super Saiyan 2, by extension of not knowing that there's a first level. Now, if they don't know about Super Saiyan 1 or 2, this means that they were judging the Saiyan's strength by their base power level. And if you don't get it yet, they're saying that base Gohan is above Piccolo. Some of you may argue that they were talking about suppressed Gohan to suppressed Piccolo. But if Gohan was weaker than Piccolo, wouldn't that just make Gohan's suppressed power lower than Piccolo's, hypothetically? You could also say Gohan can't suppress his power to Piccolo's extent, but he was suppressed enough to get through school, so I don't really think that's a concern. There's also the fact that Dabura was able to sense them despite them hiding their power level. So Dabura might have some, like, godly key sensing abilities. You know, who knows? I mean, Dabura really didn't get any time to shine, especially in the manga. So, this means one of 4 things. Either Piccolo got weaker over the 7 years, Gohan is actually stronger than when he was a teenager, Dabura is stupid, or Toriyama wrote this arc extremely poorly. I'll let you decide which one of those 4 things this scene means. Later, in the fight, Goku takes note on Dabura's power. He then compares Cell to Dabura. And then he later says Dabura is tougher than what he thought. And yet, Gohan and Dabura are seemingly on pretty even terms. And despite this, Vegeta and Goku still think he was stronger as a kid. This really doesn't make any sense so far. If Gohan is so weak, then how is he able to keep up with a super perfect Cell level fighter? On top of this, the manga's previous statement implied that his base form is stronger than Piccolo's, who would have been training all 7 years, and Piccolo had to have caught up to Super Saiyan Gohan's power to some extent, right? I would assume so. So what the hell is going on here? Gohan then gets told that if he gets angry, no one can beat him, implying Goku himself, who doesn't think he can beat an angry Gohan, at least as a Super Saiyan 2. He is hiding Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 3 did not exist when Toriyama wrote this part of the manga. So, possible he isn't referring to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but we don't know for sure. Afterwards, he does get pissed off, and the Bora doesn't try to block the blast at all. Instead, he dodges. They were also shocked by his power, meaning that this entire time, Gohan was not weaker than Super Perfect Cell. He was just not pissed off. Which, by the way, why don't I bring that up real quick? If we take a look at the good old Daizenshu, you know, that thing that everyone likes to gospel as the be-all, end-all of Dragon Ball knowledge, you can definitely not be wrong. Well, it first says that Gohan did not get any weaker from when he was a boy. It then proceeds to say that he is weaker due to him not training and being unable to access his rage. But since Gohan has been training from the point where it showed his base form to the image where they showed him as a Super Saiyan 2, he would have had to been stronger, right? Than when he was a boy. It's also saying that he is weaker and also not weaker. The Daizenshu is contradicting itself. I think that's how you say it. I can English, I promise. We also have this TV guide here, which it's not too reliable, but I thought I'd put it into the video anyways, just because I found it, might as well show you. Where it says that Gohan is rusty, the Bora is clearly an inferior opponent. Again, I don't think a TV guide is really a reliable source, but it's kind of official, so I mean, take it how you will, I guess. So let's quickly recap over everything I've gone over so far. First, Vegeta says that Gohan is weaker. Then, the Bora implies that he can not only sense past their ki suppression, but that Gohan is stronger than Piccolo in base. This would make Gohan above his previous base form in the Cell Saga quite easily. Then Goku says the Bora is comparable to Cell. Then he says that the Bora is stronger than Cell. Then we see that Gohan and the Bora are both catching their breath, which means, in Dragon Ball terms, that you're relative to each other, at least in terms of strength. Then Goku says that Gohan can beat anyone if he gets pissed off, which the Bora kinda implies by not trying to block Gohan's attack. And then the Supreme Guy is confident that Gohan can beat the Bora. Then we get the Daizenshu giving us contradicting information. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. And then a TV guide just straight up tells us Gohan is superior to the Bora in power. Goku and Vegeta's statements about him being weaker aside, there seems to be more proof that Gohan's actually stronger than his teen self. But we got a bunch of information saying both. I think that, yes, Gohan is indeed weaker than what he was supposed to. That was the intended narrative. But Toriyama and just kind of really made a bad oversight. But tell me what you think. Am I looking into this too much? Am I misunderstanding a numerous amount of things? Please tell me that I'm retarded in the comment section down below. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. See you later. Hey there. If you made it this far, you probably like my content. I do a lot of original what-ifs on this channel, so go ahead and subscribe. I want to hit 1.5k by the end of the year. I'd also appreciate if you liked the video. I should also mention that I have a Discord down below where I talk to all of my, well, not all of my fans, but all my fans who wish to communicate with me and be a part of my what-if making decisions. I also have a Patreon where you can get videos up to weeks, potentially months early, depending on how far ahead I am, likely weeks. So I'd appreciate it if you joined one of those, please. I need money and friends, mostly friends. Please, please at least join the Discord and talk, please. I need the company.